There's something happening to your body right now that most people are completely unaware of. Every single breath you take is either programming your reality for limitation or breakthrough. What I'm about to show you will fundamentally change how you see the relationship between your consciousness and the world around you. Now, I know what you're thinking. You've probably tried countless manifestation techniques, visualization, affirmations, different meditation apps, but nothing seems to create real, measurable changes in your physical reality. Your mind keeps racing, your desires feel distant, and you're starting to wonder if any of this quantum manifestation stuff actually works. But here's the thing. What if the problem isn't you? What if you've simply been missing the most fundamental piece of the puzzle? Today I'm revealing the quantum navel portal technique, a 5,000-year-old method from the ancient Vijnana Tantra that quantum physicists are now proving can literally collapse reality waves into your desired outcome. I'll show you not only the exact 111 breath protocol, but also break down the quantum physics behind why your navel is literally your body's most powerful quantum antenna for reality creation. Here's something that will blow your mind. Quantum physicists have discovered that your navel isn't just your biological beginning. It's your strongest quantum field interface point connecting you to infinite possibility. I know this might sound unusual at first, but stay with me because what I'm about to share will completely shift how you understand your body's relationship to reality creation. For thousands of years, ancient wisdom traditions have recognized something that modern science is only now beginning to validate: that your navel region holds extraordinary power for connecting consciousness with the physical world. In ancient Hindu cosmology, there's a beautiful teaching that Brahma, the creator of all universes, emerged from a lotus flower growing from Vishnu's navel. While this might seem like mythology, it actually points to a profound truth about how creation works at the quantum level. Your navel isn't just a reminder of where your umbilical cord once connected you to your mother. It represents the original point where life force energy entered your being and began organizing matter into the miracle of your physical form. Think about this for a moment. Every single cell in your body originated from that initial spark of life that entered through your navel area when you were developing in the womb. Your heart, your brain, your nervous system. Everything grew outward from this central point. In a very real sense, your navel was your first quantum antenna, receiving and organizing the intelligent energy that became you. Modern quantum field theory tells us that consciousness and matter are intimately connected through what physicists call the zero-point field, an invisible web of energy that underlies all physical reality. What's fascinating is that researchers using sensitive electromagnetic equipment have discovered that the human body generates its strongest and most coherent electromagnetic field right around the navel area, approximately 2 to 3 inches below your belly button. This isn't coincidence. Your navel region houses what Eastern traditions call the Dan Tian, your body's primary energy center. But from a scientific perspective, this area contains the densest network of nerve endings outside your brain. And it's where your vagus nerve, the longest nerve in your body, has one of its most important connection points. When you breathe deeply into this area, you're literally activating a direct line of communication between your conscious awareness and your body's autonomic nervous system. Here's where it gets really interesting. Quantum physicists have measured how focused attention combined with deep breathing can actually affect quantum fluctuations in space-time within an 8-foot radius around the human body. Your navel, being the strongest electromagnetic generator in your system, becomes like a quantum broadcasting antenna. When you direct conscious breath into this area, you're essentially sending coherent signals into the field of infinite possibility that surrounds you. The ancient masters understood this intuitively. They discovered that when you breathe consciously into your navel center while holding clear intention, something remarkable happens. The boundary between your inner awareness and external reality becomes permeable. You're no longer just observing your life. You're actively participating in its creation at the most fundamental level. This is why every spiritual tradition that achieved consistent manifestation results focused on breath work centered in the belly region rather than the chest or head. Here's something fascinating that most people never notice. If you observe a newborn baby sleeping, you'll see their entire belly rises and falls with each breath, never their chest. They're naturally breathing into their navel center. This is why babies can sleep so peacefully and grow so rapidly. They're maintaining constant connection to their life force center. Somewhere around age 5 to 7, we start copying adults' shallow chest breathing and lose this natural quantum coherence. What if I told you that reclaiming this natural breathing pattern could restore your ability to influence reality through pure conscious intention? What if the key to manifesting your desires isn't about trying harder or learning more techniques, but simply returning to the wisdom your body already knows? This is exactly what the ancient Vigyanbe Tantra masters discovered thousands of years ago. Now that you understand why the navel is your quantum command center, you're probably wondering how to actually activate this power. The ancient masters discovered something fascinating about the specific number of breaths required to achieve what they called reality collapse, the moment when your desired outcome shifts from possibility into physical manifestation. Here's something fascinating that most people never notice. If you observe a newborn baby sleeping, you'll see their entire belly rises and falls with each breath, never their chest. They're naturally breathing into their navel center. This is why babies can sleep so peacefully and grow so rapidly. They're maintaining constant connection to their life force center. Somewhere around age 5 to 7, we start copying adults' shallow chest breathing and lose this natural quantum coherence. What if I told you that reclaiming this natural breathing pattern could restore your ability to influence reality through pure conscious intention? What if the key to manifesting your desires isn't about trying harder or learning more techniques, but simply returning to the wisdom your body already knows? Now that you understand why the navel is your quantum command center, you're probably wondering how to actually activate this power. The ancient masters discovered something fascinating about the specific number of breaths required. The number 111 isn't random. Quantum physicists call it a critical mass frequency. But here's what most meditation teachers don't understand. It's not just about counting breaths. Each breath in this sequence creates a specific quantum coherence pattern that builds to a reality collapse threshold at exactly 111 breaths. I want you to think of this process like tuning a radio to receive a clear signal. When you first turn on a radio and start scanning frequencies, you hear mostly static with occasional glimpses of music breaking through. But there's a precise moment when everything clicks into perfect clarity. That's what happens at the 111th breath. You're not just breathing randomly. You're systematically building quantum coherence until you reach the critical threshold where your desired reality can finally break through from the field of infinite possibility. The ancient Vigyanbe Tantra masters developed a precise 5-step protocol that modern quantum physics now explains with stunning accuracy. Let me walk you through each step so you understand not just what to do, but why each element is essential for creating measurable reality shifts. Step 1 is establishing what they call the sacred position. You'll want to sit comfortably with your spine naturally upright, not rigid or forced. Place one hand gently on your navel area and the other on your heart. This isn't just symbolic, you're creating a bioelectric circuit between your two strongest electromagnetic generators. When your hands connect these energy centers, you're essentially turning your body into a quantum antenna that can both receive and transmit coherent signals to the field around you. Step 2 involves quantum focus, which means directing your complete attention to the physical sensation of your navel area expanding and contracting with each breath. This isn't visualization or imagination. You're focusing on actual physical sensations. When you maintain this focused attention, you're engaging what quantum physicists call the observer effect, where conscious observation literally influences the behavior of energy and matter at the subatomic level. Step 3 is the reality programming breath, and this is where the real magic happens. You'll use a 4-4-4 breathing pattern. Inhale for 4 counts directly into your navel area. Hold for 4 counts while maintaining gentle focus on your desired reality. Then exhale for 4 counts while releasing any tension or resistance you feel in your body. This specific rhythm isn't arbitrary. It naturally synchronizes your brainwaves with Earth's Schumann resonance frequency of 7.83 Hz, creating optimal conditions for quantum field communication. During the hold phase of each breath, rather than trying to visualize complex scenes, simply hold the feeling sense of your desired reality already being true. If you want abundance, feel the relaxed confidence of someone who never worries about money. If you want love, feel the warm contentment of being deeply cherished. If you want health, feel the vitality and energy of a body that serves you beautifully. The key is accessing the emotional frequency, not creating detailed mental movies. Step 4 is what the masters called the collapse command. At your 111th breath, instead of the usual 4-4-4 pattern, you'll take the deepest breath possible into your navel area and hold it while internally declaring with complete certainty, "This reality is now." Then exhale completely, releasing everything: your breath, your effort, your attachment to outcome. This moment of complete release after sustained focus creates what quantum physicists recognize as a wave function collapse, where infinite possibility crystallizes into specific reality. Step 5 is field integration, which involves sitting quietly for 3 to 5 minutes after your final breath, simply witnessing whatever sensations, emotions, or knowing arise in your body. Don't try to analyze or interpret anything. Just receive. Many people report feeling a subtle shift in their energy field, sometimes described as a gentle expanding sensation or a deep inner knowing that something fundamental has changed. Trust whatever you experience. Your nervous system is integrating the new quantum coherence you've created. Throughout this entire process, each conscious breath creates what scientists call observer effects that literally program the quantum field around you. You're not just breathing air. You're breathing intention into the fundamental structure of reality itself. The ancient masters understood that consciousness and breath combined create the most powerful force in the universe, the ability to collapse infinite possibility into chosen reality. Here's why the ancient masters chose 111 specifically. In Sanskrit numerology, 1 represents new beginnings, and 3 ones create what's called a trinity activation. Mind, body, and spirit aligning simultaneously. But there's also a practical reason. Most people can maintain focused attention for exactly 10 to 15 minutes, and 111 conscious breaths takes approximately 12 to 14 minutes. The ancients discovered this was the perfect window before mental fatigue sets in, allowing you to maintain the pure focus necessary for reality collapse without strain or struggle. Modern neuroscience confirms this wisdom. Research shows that sustained attention begins declining after about 15 minutes, but the first 12 to 14 minutes represent peak focus capacity for most individuals. The masters essentially discovered the optimal duration for quantum field programming thousands of years before we had the scientific tools to measure attention spans and brainwave states. But here's the most fascinating part. What's actually happening inside your body during these 111 breaths goes far beyond simple relaxation or stress relief. The physiological changes are so profound they can be measured in real time, and understanding these changes will help you recognize when you've successfully achieved quantum coherence and reality collapse readiness. Here's what most people don't realize, and this is absolutely critical. Your nervous system is fighting against you right now. Every shallow breath you take is literally programming your quantum field for limitation and scarcity. But within just 50 to 60 conscious breaths, something extraordinary happens. You can actually measure the shift in your bioelectric field. When you begin breathing consciously into your navel area, you're triggering a cascade of neurological changes that most meditation teachers don't even understand. Your sympathetic nervous system, which keeps you in fight or flight mode throughout most of your day, begins to downregulate almost immediately. Meanwhile, your parasympathetic nervous system activates, creating the optimal brainwave states for quantum field communication. The moment you place your attention on your navel and begin deep, rhythmic breathing, you're directly stimulating your vagus nerve, the longest cranial nerve in your body that connects your brain to virtually every major organ system. This isn't just relaxation, it's literal rewiring of your nervous system's default programming. Within 8 to 10 conscious breaths, sensitive equipment can measure increased vagal tone, which correlates directly with your capacity to influence your external environment through coherent intention. But here's where it gets truly fascinating from a quantum perspective. As your vagus nerve activation increases, your brain begins producing gamma waves in the 40 to 100 Hz range. These are the same frequencies that neuroscientists associate with moments of insight, breakthrough experiences, and what they call binding consciousness, the state where your brain integrates information across multiple regions simultaneously. In quantum terms, gamma waves represent the ideal frequency for collapsing probability waves into manifest reality. Researchers using specialized electromagnetic detection equipment have documented something remarkable. When individuals practice navel-focused breathing with clear intention, the quantum field fluctuations within an 8-foot radius around their body become measurably more coherent. Instead of random electromagnetic noise, the field begins exhibiting what physicists call structured interference patterns, the same patterns you see when dropping a stone into still water, except these ripples exist in the fabric of space-time itself. Even more intriguing, scientists studying biophotonic emissions, the ultra-weak light that all living cells emit, have discovered that focused breathing combined with clear intention creates what they term coherent energy signatures. Your cells literally begin emitting light in synchronized patterns that can be measured and photographed. This coherent biophotonic field extends beyond your physical body and interacts directly with the quantum vacuum, creating what advanced physicists recognize as non-local correlations between your consciousness and distant events. Dr. Fritz Albert Popp's groundbreaking research on biophotons reveals that these coherent light emissions serve as communication channels between cells, organs, and even between individuals. When you achieve quantum coherence through navel breathing, you're essentially upgrading your body's bioelectric communication system from dial-up to high-speed internet. Your cells can communicate more efficiently, your organs can coordinate more effectively, and most importantly, your consciousness can interface more clearly with the quantum field of infinite possibility. What's happening at the cellular level is equally profound. Deep navel breathing increases oxygen efficiency, optimizes mitochondrial function, and triggers the release of nitric oxide, a signaling molecule that enhances circulation and cellular regeneration. But beyond these measurable physiological benefits, something more subtle occurs. Your DNA begins responding to the coherent electromagnetic fields generated by conscious breathing. Epigenetic research shows that environmental factors, including coherent electromagnetic fields, can activate dormant genetic potentials and even influence gene expression in real time. Here's what's really happening neurologically. The vagus nerve, which connects your brain to your navel area, is the longest nerve in your body. When you breathe deeply into your belly, you're directly stimulating this nerve, which triggers your body's rest and digest mode. This is the same state your brain enters during deep meditation or right before falling asleep, when your subconscious becomes most receptive to new programming. Most meditation techniques try to quiet the mind first, but navel breathing automatically quiets the mind through direct nervous system activation. This neurological shift creates the perfect conditions for what quantum physicists call observer collapse, the moment when your focused consciousness collapses infinite possibility into specific reality. Your brain enters a state similar to the hypnagogic phase between waking and sleeping, where the boundary between conscious and subconscious becomes permeable. In this state, your intentions can literally reprogram your subconscious patterns and, through quantum field interaction, influence the probability of external events aligning with your desired outcomes. Now let me show you exactly what you can expect when you start practicing this technique. because understanding the timeline of transformation will help you recognize when quantum shifts are beginning to manifest in your physical reality. Students of this technique report something incredible: actual shifts in their external reality within 48 to 72 hours, not just feeling more relaxed. I want to prepare you for what you can realistically expect as you begin practicing the 111 Quantum Collapse Protocol, because understanding this timeline will help you recognize the subtle but profound shifts that indicate your quantum field is reorganizing around your desired reality. These aren't promises or guarantees. They're consistent patterns that emerge when you practice this technique with genuine commitment and presence. During your very first session, most people experience what can only be described as deep quantum coherence. It's different from ordinary relaxation or stress relief. There's a palpable sense that you've accessed something profound within yourself. A stillness that feels alive, a peace that carries intelligence. Many describe it as remembering something they'd forgotten, like coming home to themselves after a long absence. You might feel tingling sensations around your navel area, warmth spreading through your torso, or a gentle expanding feeling that extends beyond your physical body boundaries. What's particularly striking is the direct experience of consciousness affecting matter. During your practice, you might notice that your phone stops buzzing, traffic sounds seem to fade, or even that pets and plants in your environment appear more peaceful. This isn't imagination. You're witnessing real-time evidence of your coherent consciousness influencing your immediate environment through quantum field interaction. Within 48 to 72 hours of consistent practice, quantum reality shifts typically begin manifesting in your physical world. These often arrive as meaningful coincidences that feel almost orchestrated, running into exactly the right person at the perfect moment, receiving unexpected opportunities that align perfectly with your intentions, or discovering solutions to long-standing problems in the most surprising ways. Pay attention to synchronicities during this window because they're early indicators that your quantum field is beginning to reorganize. After 1 week of daily practice, most people report a dramatic increase in what psychologists call meaningful coincidences. Phone calls from old friends just when you were thinking of them, finding parking spaces exactly where you need them, or encountering information that answers questions you hadn't even consciously asked. These aren't random events. They're evidence that your coherent intention is creating what physicists call non-local correlations between your consciousness and seemingly unrelated circumstances. The 2-week mark often brings more substantial shifts as major life circumstances begin reorganizing according to your desired reality. Career opportunities emerge naturally, relationships either deepen in authentic connection or gently fade away, and your living environment starts reflecting your elevated frequency. Financial flow often improves, not through struggle or manipulation, but through unexpected channels opening up. Health improvements become noticeable as your nervous system maintains the coherent state you've been cultivating. By 21 days, something beautiful happens. The practice becomes less about trying to change your reality and more about maintaining alignment with the reality that's already emerging around you. You begin living from what the ancient masters called effortless manifestation, where desired outcomes arise naturally from your coherent state rather than from pushing or forcing. Your external world stabilizes into what quantum physicists recognize as a new probability landscape. Circumstances that would have seemed unlikely or impossible before now feel natural and inevitable. This complete integration represents what the Vijnana Tantra masters understood as permanent quantum timeline shift. You're no longer practicing manifestation as an occasional technique. You're embodying the consciousness that naturally attracts alignment, abundance, and authentic fulfillment. Here's why results happen so quickly with this technique compared to other methods. Most manifestation practices rely on the conscious mind, which operates only about 5% of the time. But navel breathing accesses your autonomic nervous system, the same system that beats your heart and digests your food without conscious effort. This system runs 24/7 and controls 95% of your body's functions. When you program your nervous system through breath, you're essentially giving instructions to the part of you that never stops working. Unlike positive thinking or visualization, which require constant conscious effort, autonomic programming continues influencing your reality even while you sleep, creating continuous quantum coherence that compounds over time. The key to experiencing these quantum shifts consistently lies in understanding the optimal practice protocol that maximizes your quantum field activation while working harmoniously with your body's natural rhythms and energy cycles. There's a specific time and way to practice this that amplifies your quantum field access by up to 300%, and the timing is based on Earth's electromagnetic cycles. Most people practice whenever convenient, but there's an optimal 20-minute window each day when your navel center can access maximum quantum coherence. The ancient masters of the Vijnana Tantra discovered something that modern chronobiology is only now confirming. Your body's quantum sensitivity fluctuates dramatically throughout the day based on natural electromagnetic rhythms. Just as ocean tides respond to gravitational forces, your personal energy field rises and falls in harmony with planetary frequencies. There's a brief window each morning when these forces align perfectly, creating optimal conditions for quantum field programming. This golden window occurs during the first 20 minutes after sunrise in your local area. Not clock time, but actual sunrise, when the first rays of solar energy begin interacting with Earth's electromagnetic field. During this transition from darkness to light, several remarkable things happen simultaneously in your body and environment that create ideal conditions for reality collapse. Your pineal gland, often called your body's natural antenna, is most active during this dawn transition. As morning light enters your eyes, even with them closed, it triggers precise neurochemical cascades that optimize your brain for receiving and transmitting coherent quantum signals. Meanwhile, Earth's Schumann resonance, the planet's natural electromagnetic heartbeat, reaches peak stability during sunrise hours, providing the clearest possible frequency backdrop for your personal quantum field activation. The practice itself is beautifully simple yet precise. Find a comfortable position where you can sit undisturbed for 15 to 20 minutes, ideally facing east toward the rising sun if possible. If you're indoors, simply knowing the sun's direction is sufficient. Your body's electromagnetic field will naturally orient toward this powerful energy source. Place one hand on your navel, one on your heart, and begin your 111 breath protocol exactly as we discussed. The key to maximum effectiveness lies in counting your breaths mindfully rather than mechanically. Each counted breath serves as an anchor point that prevents your mind from wandering and breaking the quantum coherence you're building. Think of counting as gentle guidance that keeps your consciousness focused while allowing the deeper magic of breath and intention to unfold naturally. Consistency and timing amplifies results exponentially. When you practice at the same time each morning, your body begins anticipating and preparing for quantum coherence activation. Your circadian rhythms align with your practice. Your nervous system pre-activates the parasympathetic responses needed for deep states, and your personal electromagnetic field becomes increasingly sensitive to quantum fluctuations. This biological attunement transforms daily practice from effort into effortless flow. What's particularly powerful about morning practice is how it establishes your quantum signature for the entire day. Just as tuning a musical instrument affects every note played afterward, achieving quantum coherence in the morning influences every thought, emotion, and choice you make for the following 24 hours. You're literally programming your reality from the foundation up, ensuring that your day unfolds from coherence rather than chaos. Daily consistency creates what quantum physicists recognize as cumulative field effects. Each morning's practice doesn't just influence that day's reality, it contributes to an ever-strengthening quantum field around you that becomes increasingly magnetic to desired outcomes. After several weeks of consistent sunrise practice, many people report that manifestations begin occurring faster and with less conscious effort, as though their elevated frequency has become their new natural state. Here's why sunrise timing is so effective. It's not mystical, it's biological. Your cortisol levels naturally peak in the early morning, which actually enhances focus and learning ability. Additionally, morning sunlight exposure regulates your circadian rhythm and optimizes melatonin production for the entire day. Ancient practitioners didn't have access to this research, but they discovered through experience that morning practice created the most consistent results. They were unknowingly optimizing their natural hormone cycles for enhanced quantum field sensitivity and reality programming capacity. Before you try this technique, there's one crucial thing you need to understand about quantum field programming that will determine whether you experience profound transformation or simply pleasant relaxation sessions. So remember, your navel is your quantum command center. The 111 breath count creates critical mass for reality collapse. The 444 breathing pattern syncs with Earth's frequency, and daily sunrise practice creates permanent quantum coherence. Plus, you now have all the exclusive insights. Why babies naturally breathe this way, the ancient wisdom behind 111 breaths, how vagus nerve activation works, why your autonomic nervous system is key to fast results, and the biological reasons sunrise practice is optimal. You're no longer approaching manifestation from a place of hoping and wishing. You understand the precise mechanisms that allow consciousness to influence physical reality through your body's most powerful quantum antenna. This isn't just theory anymore. It's practical knowledge that transforms every breath you take into an opportunity for reality programming. My challenge to you is to practice this technique for the next 7 days and document every synchronicity and reality shift that occurs. Keep a simple journal noting any meaningful coincidences, unexpected opportunities, or moments when life seems to flow more effortlessly than usual. These early signs indicate your quantum field is responding to your new coherent frequency. After practicing for 1 week, come back and leave a comment sharing your quantum breakthrough. Mention which insight resonated most with you. I read every single comment, and I'm genuinely excited to hear about your reality collapse experiences. Your journey of discovery inspires others who are just beginning to explore their quantum potential. If this quantum navel portal technique and these exclusive insights opened your eyes to the power of consciousness reality engineering, you absolutely need to go back and watch my previous video about the observer breath, where I reveal how your brain has been programmed backwards for manifestation, and the mirror breath method that makes manifestation instantaneous through recognition rather than creation. Hit that subscribe button if you're ready to master the science of consciousness-created reality with authentic knowledge you won't find anywhere else. Because your extraordinary quantum life is just 111 breaths away.